Welcome to Season 1 of the Resilient Dad Show. I'm your host, Pat DiDomenico. When I became a single dad and was faced with navigating social parenting issues and the complexity of the family legal system, I felt confused and I felt like I had nowhere to turn. That's why I created the Resilient Dad Show, a place that I so badly needed and wish had been available for me during the grueling and challenging times of working through my own experience. This show will feature industry experts in mental health, social services, and personal development, along with resilient dad role models whose stories of overcoming the challenges of co-parenting will create a new vision for the life you and your kids deserve. If you have any questions or want to suggest a future guest on the show, please visit resilientdad.fm for more information. Hi guys, it's Pat the Resilient Dad, and on today's episode I want to talk a little bit about our tagline, finding the answer within. What does that mean? And for me, it's about in terms of understanding that all the solutions to challenges that I have in life are within me, to finally having the ability to find the solution, and that in terms of I can't look at the external world for answers. One of the things that I've recently learned is that we have between 40 to 60,000 thoughts a day, and that roughly about 80% of those thoughts roll on to the next day and so on. So I can see that in terms of how someone could easily spiral into a negative pattern by constantly focusing on what's wrong and what's not right and what they don't have and so forth. So how I, in terms of I guess was in this situation myself, was I was in a place of constantly focusing on what was wrong, what I didn't have, what was happening to me, a place of expectations, that how I perceived how everything should have been, the outcomes and so forth. And then I was able to make a shift, and they're only minor shifts, and seeing that in terms of I really don't have any control of what anyone does outside of myself. So if I condition myself to start forming those positive behavioral patterns, I will in turn change my mindset, such as looking after in terms of my health. Prior I was drinking 2 liters of Pepsi Max a day. I'd be lucky to take a sip of water a day, but now instead I drink 4 liters of water, and I don't have any caffeine. I don't even have any coffee anymore. I would go for a 45-minute walk in the morning, getting some fresh air, on a daily basis, where I got to a point where when I was younger, I'd be playing sport every day. But as I got older and started working for myself, and you in terms of, you get married or you're in a relationship and you have kids, and you tend to forget about the importance of looking after yourself. So I wouldn't be doing anything. I would be eating McDonald's for breakfast, KFC for lunch, KFC on the way home, and then I'd still eat dinner because, I wouldn't want my partner or my wife to get upset about me not eating dinner. So, constantly having a compounding effect of negative behavioral patterns and thoughts because things aren't working and everything's going wrong and so forth. That turned to that. So being able to change those things gave me the ability to see that in terms of I was in control of my situation. No one was telling me to go to McDonald's for breakfast, KFC for lunch, KFC on the way home, drink 2 liters of Pepsi Max a day. No one was telling me to not exercise. And so knowing that in terms of I had the ability to do that was great, and things changed for me. I went from being on Zoloft for 4.5 years straight to then being able to just literally like that, throw it away, all because I was focusing in terms of on my mindset and and myself, and not looking externally for validation and in terms of acceptance of what was happening. And that, I know that if we're all able to have a little bit more control of our own internal worlds, we'll all have a lot more, life will be more enjoyable, and in terms of a lot more abundant. We can't focus in terms of the situation that we might have with our ex-partners in terms of the challenges of co-parenting. Unfortunately, there's a lot of emotions involved, and majority of them in terms of we can't in terms of control nothing other than what we do. Maybe in a situation where in terms of we don't get to see our child as much, or we don't get to take them on that holiday at Christmas time because there's two parents now. So we both can't have him at Christmas, and I'm sure we both don't necessarily want to go away together. So it's having that understanding that in terms of your situation is your situation in terms of what is it you want to focus on now, and what do you want for your future, and in terms of being that role model for your children is taking care of yourself, so they see in turn that regardless of the situation, you didn't allow your situation to dictate in terms of the outcome in the future that you desired for yourself and your kids, and I think that will that alone can make a big difference in a lot of dads, especially in those challenging times. So I hope today's episode you were able to get something out of it, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Hey guys, I really appreciate you listening to today's show. It means a lot to me that you're part of the journey and mission to help single fathers be the best dads possible. I'd really appreciate it if you review the show and share it with someone you generally believe could benefit from the content. Please visit resilientdad.com for more content and resources as we build this community for dads everywhere.